What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Party on Broad. Today, we are reacting to the Eagles' first round, their selection of Jihaad Campbell. We're also doing a day 2 mock and talking about the best prospects available for the Eagles. Big night tonight. This is the meat and potatoes of the 2025 NFL Draft. There's a lot of really big names out there that I think are great fits. Joining us, Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. What's good, Ryan? Are you recovered?
No. I'm still in shock. Howie selecting a linebacker for the first time in my lifetime since 1979. It's something I've wanted since I was just a little kid, and I waited and I waited, and patiently, I finally have my first round linebacker.
Now you were a little kid, and you got your linebacker.
I've already placed a pre-order.
Did you?
For his jersey.
What? You don't even know the number yet?
Doesn't matter. Let's go.
Really?
Yeah, I actually think I was actually thinking about it as I was driving. I wait till the number comes out, but I
usually do too. Now,
you're a true sicko, Ryan.
As somebody who has almost 100 Eagles jerseys, I'm praying to God for there's like 6 numbers in there that I feel like he could hit. That I would love for him to hit, but my gut feeling is he'll tell Perry Nicholson or whatever the hell his name is to kick rocks and give him 30.
All right. What about also joining us, of course, Rob Lanchi. I was ready to get going on this thing. I forgot Rob.
I love this because I'm nice and fresh, and you two are like out of it right now.
I'm wiped, Rob. I'm still recovering from the watch party, but the show must go on. What's going on, man?
Oh, man, it was an exciting pick. You know, I think I had talked to a bunch of people before the draft and gave them like my top 5 once. And I never put Campbell on the list because I just never, A, thought he'd be there, and B, thought the Eagles would ever draft a linebacker this year with the fact that they just spent money on a linebacker. I was like, they're just not, this isn't the year that they do it. So I never even put his name out there. And lo and behold, they had a top 10 grade on him. And, you know, call it luck, call it skill. It just seems like the board continues year after year right now to fall exactly the way the Eagles want it. They had the opportunity. They tried to get up. They couldn't get up, and they still get their man. So, you know, a lot of versatility. It's like we've talked about. They needed an edge and a linebacker, and it looks like they got both in one player. You know, the way Howie talked, they want him on the edge a little bit. I mean, the way Howie talked last night in his press conference, if you take the words, he was very adamant that do not put this guy in the box as a one-position player. So it'll be very interesting how they go about it with him.
Yeah, I think he's a Zach Bond clone. I think he's got the height, the size, the speed, the versatility, the drop back in coverage, amazing click and closing speed to blitz. From the middle, from the edge. He can do a lot of things really well. He needs to learn, improve his technique in a lot of different ways. It says on the sheet he sheds blocks well. There are some things he can do better, like pick up the run, diagnose, improve in those areas. But, I mean, top to bottom, I think he's an off-ball linebacker. I think he's going to be standing out there with Zach Bond. And I think he's going to be groomed under Zach Bond. He's the perfect way to hedge your bet against Zach Bond. Maybe Zach Bond regresses in 2025, and he kind of can learn under Zach Bond and literally be the same kind of guy that we saw Zach Bond, just flourish under Vic Fangio. I think he's coming into a great situation with Vic Fangio, get coached up, because all the things he does, the traits, is off the charts. The things he needs to learn can be taught. So,
and that's what it's exciting is he's a linebacker, doesn't have to come off the field. He's a 3-down linebacker. And like you said, he could be the off-ball backer, but then when you want to go with your 5-man front, he could walk up and be the edge rusher. And I think, I think that's what they expected more from Zach Bond. And then Zach Bond just turned into this hell of a off-ball linebacker. It's going to be fun, man. Vic Fangio is going to have a lot of fun with him and Bond. I mean, I'm like envisioning having him and Bond both walk up on either side of the line.
Yep.
And you have to figure out which one is rushing, which one is dropping back. I mean, that's going to be very difficult for most quarterbacks to understand.
The more I slept on this, the more. But Krabby, I agree to disagree. I don't think he's an edge rusher. I think he can be on the line in different situations, but I just gush at the thought process of him, Zach Bond, Cooper DeJean, and what they're going to do for this run defense, what Vic Fangio is going to be able and how he's going to be able to employ these guys in blitz packages. Ryan, any thoughts?
Yeah, no, I fully have him as a linebacker. I know, again, he kind of came in to college as an edge, but, he has transitioned to that off-ball linebacker beautifully. I will say, he has an amazing quickness first step, just absolutely has a great ability to kind of shoot the gap. He hits with a lot of pop. We are going to love that here. I'm telling you, he is going to lay some lumber. I will say negatively, he can be a little aggressive at times. RPO situation type stuff. He doesn't seem to have the right instinct as far as which way to go more than not. But I think the things, like that can kind of be taught. He has the raw athletic skill. His RAS score was what, like 9.8, right?
9.85, something like that.
Something like that. So he's got the athleticism. Him
His
and Bond,
wingspan is huge.
yeah, it's ginormous. Him and Bond with Jalen Carter, the run defense is going to be great. He can drop back into coverage. Again, I think there are things that he needs to improve on, but with the help of Vic Fangio, with the help of Zach Bond, I think this kid can really polish himself in the next year or two and become a great linebacker in this league, honestly. So I'm very excited. I just had dreams last night of just carnage to all of the other NFC East teams of him blowing them up, and I cannot wait for it.
He played 57 snaps in the slot the last 2 years at Alabama. I made a video of that, and you can go check it out on the channel. But he looks so good. He drops back, his wingspan, he deflects passes. He can, the second he decides to go after the quarterback, bam, he's in the backfield. Just the athleticism, the traits is, really exciting. And if he learns to put it all together, learning under Zach Bond, learning under Vic Fangio, that's really exciting. And Krabby says, you must be sleep deprived. I am just waking up.
He was saying he doesn't actually physically look like they're two different people.
There is one interesting thing I found.
One has hair, one doesn't.
Listening to Campbell last night, they asked him how much he spoke to the Eagles. And he said he only had one conversation, and the man that he spoke with was Jeremiah Washburn, who we know is the outside linebacker and edge coach. He did not speak to the inside linebacker coach. That's why I'm not saying he's going to be a steady edge. I don't believe that at all. But I think you're going to see him moving around quite a bit. He's going to be, he's going to be a Swiss Army knife, I think, for Vic.
Well, anytime you can get a player that has any versatility, absolutely utilize it.
Absolutely.
But I think what happens in tonight basically is gonna help you, determine whether or not they feel the same way. If they go out and draft an edge, he is not playing edge.
Yeah, right.
Right. But I could certainly see him, again, majority linebacker, maybe hand in the ground, but. Again, I truly believe they drafted him to be a linebacker next to Zach Bond. And tonight, I really hope they fill in some other defensive gaps. And we rebuild this defense and once again have the youngest defense in the NFL.
So look how excited he made. He's going to be a fan favorite, dude.
Isn't he local? He grew up
South Jersey.
Me, about 20 minutes from me. Tim, went to Timber Creek High School, which is
There you go. Why don't you go visit him? Get him on the show.
which is where that's where that kid, the quarterback, Devin Leary, who ended up bouncing around college, but he was a big prospect, went to Timber Creek. And it's funny because Timber Creek is like 10 minutes from where Ezraku went at Williamstown.
What?
So that little section of South Jersey has been pumping some kids out lately. So yeah, man, he's back home. He ended up, what do they say? He went to IMG for his senior year. He left Timber Creek, went down to IMG for his senior year, and finished up his high school ball down there.
That's cool. That's really cool. Can you see me? I'm like freezing.
Yeah, you're coming. It's funny. Your words come well before your mouth moves right now. It's like a dead Chinese subtitled movie at this moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. Happens to the best of us.
Looks like I'm frozen just a little bit or something. Anyway, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna come back in. All right.
Okay. All right. Me and Rob will talk.
We'll talk.
Right.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey Rob, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, you been? You all right?
Good, man. I'm good. I was happy to hear we were doing this show this afternoon.
Yeah, right.
I was sitting there, I was like, man, I want to talk about a little bit, and then I want to. Look, I'm excited about the second and third round. I don't know, like it's a night where I could see the Eagles making 3 picks. It's a night where I could see the Eagles making 1 pick. Yeah. Like if they decide to trade back at the end of the third round to get more 4s or something like that.
Yeah.
Depending on how the board falls. Dives and I were talking before the show. I think you're going to see a huge run early on edge rushers. Yeah. And early in this second round. My ideal, what I want to see happen is I really like the kid the safety from South Carolina, Emin Wari.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind seeing him slip a little bit.
Whoa.
Damn, Dive just tried to kick us out of the show.
I know, right? Jeez.
Shut up, guys.
Yeah, jeez.
That's kind of that or a Mason Taylor. I'd like to see the Eagles be aggressive and get something like that.
Sure.
I was listening to a show today with a guy who's kind of tied into the Eagles, and Dives won't like this. Ryan, you may like this, but I'm hearing Harold Fannin Jr. is their guy. I'm hearing he's gotten the sign off by the quarterback's coach, who was the head coach there last year.
Pointing right at Dives, right there.
So I mean, who knows? I mean, obviously, if Mason Taylor slipped a little bit, I think that they probably like Mason Taylor. They're just not expecting that they're going to be able to get him at this point.
I would absolutely love that. At the end of the third round, again, I think that's kind of right where he should kind of go in that 90s, early 100 pick range. But yeah, as far as second rounders, my God, there is so many great choices.
You should be able to get an impact player. I mean,
Dives talk and make sure that you're okay.
Check. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yes,
and
your
your
mouth
mouth,
and words are
now your mouth is moving right.
All right, cool.
All right.
DMC says Nick Emmanwori or bust.
Like it.
Like that.
Trey Amos, cornerback.
I don't think the Eagles. I got to tell you, and I know that we've all talked about it. I don't think that they're looking at cornerback the way the rest of us are.
Probably not.
I just don't think they are.
David's really high on Trey Amos, and
dude, all he talked about last night was Trey Amos. He's like, and the way he said it was like, I may have talked to somebody who may know somebody who blah 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 blah, and they love Trey Amos, and he kept absolutely saying it.
Yeah,
and it just got me so worried because again, for a first round pick, I thought that was a little high. And again, it's not that I don't like the players. The draft is all about your value and where a player is projected and where you end up getting them. So I'm all for getting great values. Even if it's a player I may not like, if it's a great value, I'm all for it.
I have a different take on Trey Amos. I think he's a solid player, and I wouldn't be upset if they drafted him tonight. But I think he's more of a press kind of corner. I don't think he's an elite athlete. And I like the fit. I want a more cover corner on the outside. I mean, Vic Fangio never runs press. He wants guys that are natural athletes that can close on the ball fast and tackle well. And I feel like Benjamin Morrison is just
my God, I would love that.
I've always felt that way. Don't get me wrong. Amos would be a great selection, good selection. But if Benjamin Morrison's there versus Trey Amos, I'm definitely going Benjamin Morrison.
You would literally have the greatest collection of corners in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. We've always had, a pair here and there. Your Lito and Sheldon, your Bobby Taylor and Troy Vincent, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. But the three of them, Q, Coop, Benjamin Morrison, you ain't throwing on nobody.
Yeah. See, for me, I want to see them come out tonight. I mean, listen, I've been harping on this. I want to see a safety tonight. I mean, and there's quite a few. There's one. Obviously, Imam Worry would be, I think, if they were somehow able to get up. Maybe he slides when the edge rusher, run takes place. And then obviously we've talked about, the Makubas of the world later in the draft and things of that nature. But I really want to see a safety. I mean, in my perfect world, they would draft a tight end and a safety tonight, but I don't think that, they're going to draft somewhere along the line at some point tonight.
I like this. Yes, he can.
I mean, in terms of coverage, in terms of being able to be a deep safety, in terms of being a ball hawk, Xavier Watts is arguably the best of the group at safety. He's elite as it gets. And that's exactly what you want next to Reed Blankenship. That's a great pair.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I'll take both defensive backs from Notre Dame. That's
I'm pretty sure they have another one coming up too. I forget what his name is.
Right.
Doing some research. There's another one in the pipeline that's coming.
You're absolutely right. I forget. Oh man,
they're becoming like DBU over there.
Yeah.
Can Adoree Jackson? I think Adoree Jackson is a better fit than Keely Ringo on the outside for all the reasons I just said. I think Keely Ringo is the best press corner on the team, on the roster, and we don't do that. And I like Adoree Jackson in coverage is terrific.
Well, that's why I look at this and think the Eagles are looking at their cornerback room going, all right, it's going to be Keely, you got your shot. But if Adoree beats you out, that's it. Like, we're not doing this anymore. Adoree will be the corner this year, and then we're going to have to get somebody in. I don't know if they force one day 2. Maybe they take a day 3 corner, but I don't think they force one tonight.
Yep. Yeah. Williams asked if they add a tight end. Who's your preference? For me, it comes down to Mason Taylor or Elijah Arroyo. Mason Taylor, I mean, I would sprint to the podium if he's sitting there for the Birds. I would imagine he's going to be off the board pretty quick tonight. I think he's just an overall very good prospect. Best football is in front of him. Great athlete, very good hands, solid blocker. And then you get to Elijah Arroyo, who's more of a projection, but he's coming from a run-heavy scheme in Miami. He knows how to block, probably a better blocker than Mason Taylor. And I think he's got immense upside as a receiver. So not an inline guy. So just kind of pick your poison. And, I mean, then you get to Gunnar Helm, who's kind of not an elite athlete, but he's a jack of all trades, master of none type of dude, but very good blocker, very good receiver. For me, Mason Taylor, if he's sitting there, though, is a great fit. That's where I would go. I mean, preferably Dallas Goedert returns for 2025 and get all this nonsense, but I don't think that's the reality.
Yeah. I think Mason Taylor's the easy one to say. That's my preference. But, I don't know if they're going to be willing. You're going to have to use one of your thirds next year to probably get up to a spot where you can get a Mason Taylor, which look, you have all these picks that you're not going to make. So you have the arsenal to go up and get them. It's just a matter of where they see, their board. We know that now. It's their board. And if they don't, if they don't value him like we're doing and they look and say they like Harold Fannin enough, then they're not going to do it. So we'll have to just see how it plays out tonight. But tonight will be fun for sure.
Yep. DMC says Andrew Makuba, one of my favorite prospects in draft. He is a Eagle through and through.
Yeah.
If you're talking about positionless, if you're talking about versatility on defense, Andrew Makuba is an immense fit for the Philadelphia.
Where are you guys? And I know the injury, obviously, but where are you guys on like a Kevin Winston?
I'm a big fan. I mean, I should have brought his name up. So he, coming into 2024, he was widely considered one of the top safeties in the draft, right there with Malachi Starks. He got hurt, obviously, and we're basically relying on his 2023 tape, and it was terrific. He's reportedly back, and
he was a top 30 visit for the Eagles. He came in.
Tantalizing. I would be very happy if they
we know that when you get later in the draft, second, third, fourth round, those top 30 visits that the Eagles have had guys in, they're typically guys they look to draft. So, would I be surprised if they maybe held pat and, took a chance on him at the end of the second round? I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep. Williams says, I would have given Isaiah Rodgers that deal you got from Minnesota. I fully agree. The Isaiah Rodgers signing and the Oren Burks signing were the two that really hurt me the most.
Yeah.
In terms of moves. Other than that, I was good with the rest of Howie's moves this offseason. Should we jump into the mock draft?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I guess I'll go first. All right. So we're only doing a day 2 mock. Guys, if you're watching us live, comment what we should do here. So again, only rounds 2 and 3. Let's go. Let's see how this goes.
Let's see what we got.
Are we going to be aggressive or are we going to stand pat?
That's on you, right?
Yeah. This will be my mock. Rob and I were talking before we went live. I want Howie to be aggressive today. This is the day to be aggressive.
I agree.
I feel like every second round going into second, everybody's always says that. Like, oh my God, I can't believe A, B, C, and D are still there. Be aggressive and go up and get them. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But I feel like he doesn't have to be as aggressive. He knows when to maneuver.
All right, let's do this thing. I'll start the draft, and I'll just hit pause as we go. Will Johnson, Mike Green, Eman Warrior, Trey Amos, all the top guys.
All the guys that we want. God.
All right, Shedeur Sanders off the board to the Browns. Ezra Raku, Texans. Will Johnson, Eman Warrior, Landon Jackson, Nick Scorton. This is Murder's Row right here for Howie Roseman. Many of the top names are off the board, but we're not going to trade up that high. That's rich. Let's resume. Brady. Oh my God. Oh, I might have to trade up. Xavier Watts to the Bengals. Braden Swinson to the Card. Man, the Cardinals just taking all my guys.
No, God damn it. Screw you, Jonathan Gannon.
Jonathan Gannon is screwing us over here.
How dare you, Gannon?
I think you try and make your team better.
Yeah. You jerk. Do the Browns? Oh, wow. Yeah, the Browns have 2 picks. So do the Bears. 2 early picks.
All right. The Eagles have traded up into the second round. We are sitting at pick number 52. I couldn't sit and just watch all those guys just fall off. That was hard.
That was tough.
So Kevin Winston sitting there. Siobhan Ravel, good cornerback, good size, has some injury history, but he's an outside corner. Princely Iman Mielen is sitting there. I like quite a bit. Great size, raw athleticism. Elijah Arroyo, Andrew Makuba, Tate Ratledge, Ariante Ursery is one of my favorite targets for the Birds, and their run heavy zone scheme. That would be a terrific fit. Mason Taylor is sitting there. Maybe I shouldn't have traded up, but anyway, I'm going to go to the core. We are going to do the trenches thing, and we're going to go TJ Sanders.
Nice.
To the Philadelphia Eagles. TJ Sanders, defensive tackle. It's like 6'3", very long arms, great traits, explosive, great first step off the line of scrimmage, just raw. Needs to improve against the run. And I think he would be a really good guy for that rotation on the interior. I think the engine of the Eagles defense is that Jalen Carter and whatever is next to him. And I'm going to add to that because I don't know what the plan is with Jordan Davis going forward. So I'm going to go TJ Sanders as a future 3-tech. That's where we're at. A guy that can really like just attack on the interior. So all we got left is pick number 96. We're going to let this roll. So we got a linebacker. We've got interior defensive tackle. So now we just wait and wait and wait
And wait.
and wait.
Remember,
wait
you can
more.
You can speed it up.
All right. So the Eagles are back on the clock at 96. Oof. Charles Grant just went off the board. Jalen Milroe to the Seahawks.
No.
Yeah, this was also Murder's Row. Terrence Ferguson off the board. Damian Martinez is a really fun prospect. And there's your boy, Ryan.
Oh, I see him.
Fannin Jr. sitting there. Would be really interesting.
I also see a tackle. I wouldn't be surprised if they jumped up or they took here.
Get another linebacker.
Another linebacker?
How greedy.
Only Ryan. You did have a mock where you went back to back linebackers, I think.
I probably did. I don't care.
Right.
It out, linebacker it out.
I'm going to put this to a poll, but I'm going to go. Stick to my gut. I think one of the most underrated players in this draft. He's a sleeper. Give me Jonas Sanker, a safety out of Virginia. I think he's a great fit, a good scheme fit with the Eagles defense. Great in coverage.
The memes would be awesome.
And he looks just like Jalen Hurts.
The memes would be outrageous if Jonas Sanker ended up on this team.
Yeah, I think Jonas Sanker is being slept on. He's PFF gave me a D, but I'm a fan. I think he's much better.
Your best pick was Jihaad Campbell.
So there's my day 2, TJ Sanders in the trade up, and then 96, Jonas Sanker continuing to address the defense. Who wants to go next? All right, Ryan, you're up, bro.
Save the best for last. That's a good idea.
Sure. All right. Let's get started here. Start this draft. Shedeur Sanders to the Browns. Will Johnson to the Browns.
Yeah, that's rough.
That is rough. J.J. Watts went.
Yeah, the top of this second round is just so good. I love all those guys.
There's Trey, there's Benjamin Morris. Princely.
You're just going to sit there and wait, Ryan?
Yeah. What a terrible decision. What a bad GM.
Wow, I'm getting. Oh
my God. You just got murdered.
I did. Oh, wow.
You should have done round 1 again and trade up with the Chiefs.
You did so bad. There's no one that even wants to trade up with you. You can't even trade back.
You're right. That was pretty bad. That hurt me bad.
Is Mason Taylor on the board?
No, he went to Buffalo.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Why would Buffalo cannot take another tight end?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Sorry, Ryan.
Yeah, hey, bad beat, right?
Yep. And Tate Rowledge is off the board.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah,
this would be a disaster.
I don't want that one hurt. I think I'm just gonna have to go with my boy Andrew Makuba.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
And I'll play it out here.
Okay.
Well, there we go. Darren Porter. Okay, a couple good guys there. I mean, we all know what I'm going to do here if a certain somebody. I'm not even sure why. I'm not even sure why we got to wait. We just got to make sure he's there.
God, if he
I would laugh. If he
right? I would freaking cry. I would.
All right, just go take them.
Let's just see what the pick is there. 100. Drop down 4 spots. What are you going to give me? 113? No, not having 113.
What are you gonna do, Ryan? It's a mystery. Oh, we're trading back.
Well, Ryan's only making one pick.
Yeah, I traded back. I got 100 and 113. Oh well. Oh, 100.
Yeah, you do get to make a pick.
I do get to make a pick.
Comps.
All right.
There it is.
Mayor Bannon.
Guy.
Let's go. And I got 113, so I'll take it. Oh, what do we got here? Hey, at least I did better than Dipes.
All right. Yeah, that's a very Ryan day two.
Yeah, that's a very me draft. I can't help it.
Yes, it is.
Big fan of Andrew Makuba. I think he does a lot of the things we saw from CJ GJ. He can defend the slot. He can, cover. He's a big time playmaker, nose for the ball. His tape at Texas was so good. I am not the biggest fan of Harold Fannin Jr., but if we're going to see the same offense we saw in the playoffs with all that motion and all that Dallas Goedert, so be it. Any thoughts, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, I think, for the way this board fell, which was not very favorable to Ryan, I think you got a strong safety candidate right there. And as I said, Harold Fannin Jr. might be their guy. So, you trade down, you pick up another 4th round pick, and you get Harold Fannin Jr., for what you had available to you because you decided not to be aggressive and to be a coward. I think you
This is literally the first time I've done a mock draft with the updated thing. So,
yeah.
I now know I got to, if I want to get one of my guys, I got to move up. I got it.
Yeah,
I would be.
Mock draft.
I'll tell Howie the same thing.
Move up in the 2nd round.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, Howie, dude, I did a PFF mock draft. All my guys were gone, so you're gonna have to
get
move
into
up.
the top 10 picks of the 1st or the 2nd round.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
Right.
But I mean, any draft starting with Jihaad Campbell and Andrew Makuba, I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
Phil, what's going on, Phil? He says his sources tell him how he's going to be banned from the NFL draft.
That'll be at the owners' meetings next year to ban some of those
exactly.
really well.
Some crybaby franchise is going to cry about the Eagles again.
Yeah. Did you see the short I put out?
Oh no! What?
Oh, it's terrific. I got to think of what it's called. Hold on. Maybe I can do it on my YouTube channel.
But they, the guys from Barstool, Big Cat and whatever the other guys called, they had on the head coach for Green Bay, and they basically were like, "Why are you guys so afraid of the tush push?"
This is a great short.
This is from Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, this was phenomenal. They were.
I haven't seen this.
All right, well, we'll just play it then.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
He got sick of.
Come on, we'll take the linebacker.
He got pictures on everybody.
I'm so happy. Listen, the last 4 years he's nailed it.
Look at him.
Come on.
At least we got a tackle to pick him up on blitz. I mean, a guard.
Talk yourself into it.
Mina, who was the pick that you did not want the Eagles to take?
Mina, you know.
I said
20 minutes ago, you're like, the Eagles are going to somehow.
Jihaad Campbell somehow falls to the goddamn Eagles.
It's Howie season.
My favorite.
It's Howie
my
season.
favorite player in the draft. Both of my
I
favorite
love
players.
Kevin and
God,
Goddard.
has to be loving right
Absolutely serious.
That
up there on
swagger.
that campus. Where
Looks so pissed.
I'm still waiting for Micah Parsons because he had a viral moment when Dallas made their pick because his reaction was just kind of like, "No, he's good, but I wanted someone on defense."
Yeah, he was on skates there trying to convince himself.
All right,
Rob, you're up, bro.
All right, man. I will get started here.
I regret going second. I should have went last.
Yeah, you're an idiot, but that's okay.
Krabby says, "Goddamn Eagles." Love it, man. I don't.
I don't mind either.
Isn't that your job as like an analyst not to like
Be
that stuff?
a
Like,
fan, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, somehow 10 years ago, or however long it was, it became okay for you to show your allegiances.
Yeah.
The Nick Wright, dumb, long-haired freaks of the world, and Skip Bayless, that old, decrepit-looking SOB Cowboy fan. Like who cares? That guy throws away a Cowboy jersey every year like clockwork because he's so mad. I'm going to throw away my jersey. Like, shut up, dude. Get out my face.
There was a time when sports journalism was about being objective. And
that sounds
that doesn't happen anymore. That the days of Phil Jasner and Ray Diddy, nobody cares. It's sad.
No one cares.
They don't get views.
I have moved up to 49.
Oh, I better show your thing here.
Yeah, jeez.
All right, Rob's on the clock. We're moving up.
Move up to 49. Let's go.
49. And man, we got some guys sitting out here. Benjamin Morrison, Kevin Winston, two guys I like. Darius Alexander still sitting on the board from Toledo. We know the contacts there with Nick. But I'm not messing around, guys. I said to you who I wanted. I know that PFF's going to give me a D. I don't care what PFF says. I want Mason Taylor. I'm drafting Mason Taylor right here, right now. Mason Taylor becomes an Eagle. I even considered trying to get more, putting Dallas Goedert in the trade, but I won't do that. But in my trade, I also moved up to pick 81 in the third round. So I'm very interested to see what is sitting here waiting for me at 81.
I was low-key preparing my body for Mason Taylor at 32. Was anybody else doing that?
Dude, I sent it to you guys at one point. I said, I'm preparing myself. The Eagles are just going to say, screw it. We're going to, we're going to just take him right now.
Yeah.
So they're going to take Mason Taylor there. Look, I got to be honest. Well, let me see where this trade goes.
Back-to-back tight end. Load up.
No, I'm not going to trade. I'm going to make it. I think that it's not going to be a sexy pick. It's going to upset some people. But I think the Eagles there's a couple of these tackles that are out there right now that I think the Eagles like. I'm not seeing the defensive lineman that I'd want to see here that I'd be interested in.
Yeah.
So I think what the Eagles are going to do, Wyatt Millum could be a guy, but I think they're going to really like this kid from William & Mary, this Charles Grant. I think he ends up being their pick here. People will be mad. People will be upset, but I would not be surprised at all. I would not be surprised at all for the Eagles to go offensive tackle if a guy like that, who they had in on a 30 visit, is available at that moment.
Yeah, love Mason Taylor. I think I disagree with those grades. I think Mason Taylor's a great fit. Charles Grant, amazing athlete, amazing traits. Put him in Jeff Stoutland U and Profit. He's been our guy that we've talked about for a long time. And as a tackle, round 3, I mean, it's all good. I'm good. I think that those are two very good.
You got to remember, this is a team that typically takes tackles, and they did not take one last year. If a guy like Charles Grant and they really like him is there in the third round, I think they probably go that route. I'm not necessarily thrilled from a positional standpoint because, like I said, I really want to see a safety. But I wanted to try and make this as what I think they would do in a situation like this. So,
any thoughts, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, again, you get the tight end, which I'm happy about. I think at this point there are only a small handful of guys tight end wise that I would be okay with the Eagles selecting. Listen, I'm of the mindset that Lane Johnson's going to be here for another 2 years.
Yeah.
So I personally wouldn't want to draft a guy for him to sit for 2 years.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
I think if you do a move like this, you're basically drafting this guy to come and be a backup and be a swing tackle. And maybe turn into something, but I think ultimately he won't because of that mindset. So I wouldn't do it, but I understand it. The Eagles certainly probably would. So and I do like Charles Grant, so I wouldn't mind the depth for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So I will throw this onto the YouTube post tab for voting. Who has the best day 2 Eagles mock?
I finally lost one. I know it.
So be on the lookout for that. I'll put that momentarily. Any other names you want to throw out there before we wrap it up for day 2?
We talked about most of them.
Yeah, I don't want to go wide receiver.
No.
We didn't mention Terrence Ferguson. He's an elite athlete. He's more of, I think, a really good tight end too. For me personally. Again, Ariante Ursary, another guy that I think would be able to fill in at right guard really well. He's a mauler in the run game. That's a big name to watch. Tate Ratledge would be another guy. That would be really fun. In Midnight Green, we miss him. Nick Scorton is continuing to fall. I just don't think he has the traits the Eagles are looking for on the D-line. Femi Oladejo is an edge rusher. He was a linebacker, moved to edge rusher, and really flourished in 2024. Oladejo is an amazing athlete, very similar to Jalix Hunt. He's a guy that is a very good run defender, just needs to work on his pass rush moveset. Great length, great explosion. That's a name to watch out for on day 2, no doubt about it. Any other corners we didn't? Darian Porter, I don't think is a great fit. Yeah, and then Lathan Ransom. Lathan Ransom would be a really good fit, a safety out of Ohio State in that round 3 area. We have a comment saying Eman Warrior's got to be our target. Right, I would love it, man. If he falls, I'd jump all of it.
Listen, if he gets into the low 40s, I think you got to try and get up.
Watts.
You like Watts?
Yeah.
I think Watts is a better fit than Eman Worry. Eman Worry is a fun prospect. He's a great athlete, but I think you're looking for more of a coverage guy. And I think the ball hawk and the coverage skills of Xavier Watts fits the Eagles scheme a little better than Eman Worry. That's just my take. But I love him.
I don't get me wrong. It'd be great.
Yep. All right. That wraps it up. Let's do plugs. Round the horn. Final thoughts. Ryan Reese, you're up, man.
Yeah. Please make sure that everybody is liking and subscribing to our wonderful YouTube channel.
Ryan looks like he's trying to keep his eyes open right now.
Don't worry, I'm going to take a nap after. I should be working right now. So hopefully my boss doesn't see that I'm not working.
You didn't need to quote that. You're not working.
That's why I did it, because it was funny.
Giving me like Chris Farley vibes when he's like doing. Oh man! Shout out to the late Chris Farley. So,
but yeah, tonight we're gonna go live for round 2.
oh snap!
We're figuring it all out right now.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Mark's in. Rob, you said you were in.
Yes.
Dives and Shane might pop in late.
I'll be a late arrival
but I think we're all but confirmed to start tonight. The draft starts at what, 7, right? Tonight?
7 o'clock.
So we'll be popping on at about 6:45. So take a look, join us, and enjoy the festivities as Howie cooks on day 2.
Rob.
Listen, my plug is just going to be this. These 2 guys were awesome last night. They deserve a little bit of a rest. So go get your rest. As long as I don't have one of my children here tonight, which is up in the air, I'll be on from the beginning. Just talking, hanging out, all that good stuff. But excited to see how it goes tonight. Preparing myself for at least one pick that kind of makes me go, I wish that wasn't it. But who knows? I mean, it's a new Howie, guys. This is a new Howie. So
I really want Howard to be aggressive today.
yeah.
I think, like we talked about throughout the show, there's some fun prospects. Maybe even going from like round 5 and trading some future picks to get another day 2 pick.
Yeah.
To add to the roster. I think this year is about quality. And you look at next year, you have 5 top 100 picks in 2026. All the comp picks coming. Let's just keep pumping these guys out. There's some really good fits in this day 2 area. So make sure you go subscribe to Eagles Pin Pool. Go check our show from last night. We went like 4 or 5 hours last night during the watch party. We had like 3,000 views at one point, which was really cool. And thank you everyone for watching, commenting. It was a lot of fun. On this channel, I put out our reaction video from last night, a clip of Ryan freaking out about Jihaad Campbell. It's hilarious. And screaming and blowing out everybody's eardrums.
Is that on Twitter too?
No, I didn't put it on Twitter.
All right,
yeah, Rob apparently only deals in Twitters.
Then I put out a 4-minute just verbal diarrhea on Jihaad Campbell of my thoughts with highlights. Go check that out. And then there's a bunch of shorts of like highlight reels and the Eagles selection and fun things like that. So go check all that out. Much more coming tonight, tomorrow on this channel, as well as I'll keep chumming those individual breakdowns. And of course, I don't know, maybe Sunday we all get together and do like a review or a grades and all that fun stuff. But
yeah, I'd be down for that.
Yeah. So again,
Krabby Oldman.
Yeah, Krabby's been with us for so long. Thank you, Krabby. We do this for you, man. You make it all worthwhile.
Only you.
Really appreciate it. Here's Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. Here's Rob at Philly_Madness. I'm Dodge, Mr. Crockpot. Thank you, everyone, for watching. See you in about 4 or 5 hours. Stay awesome.